Now, you're very welcome back. It was the clash of the Titans in Carrickstown this week when Paul and Niamh went head-to-head, resulting in a Orla almost popping her clogs in the gash.
Oh, my God. After all that drama, actors Aisling O'Neill and Sorcha Furlong deserve a change of pace.
Yes, you
and
do.
are now set to star in the John B Keane play, The Chastitute, at Dublin's Gaiety Theatre.
Here is a preview of what you can expect from the play that begins its 3.5-week run this week.
New Mr. McNair, you were here on business?
He's on holiday. No business this time round. He lost his wife to a fellow just before Christmas.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you. Suzanne and I are widows, long standing, so we understand.
They're lucky with the weather.
Oh, they are indeed.
Are you staying in the city?
Yes, we're booked into the Elms lands.
We're just across the road. The river's there,
Well, it's a small bottle.
isn't it? Are you really in Australia?
No. And I didn't jet in this morning, and his wife wasn't washed overboard because he doesn't have a wife.
Now, you were just saying there, you were like, it's really weird watching a play back on television,
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, we were only kind of messing with it. was We kind didn't of really press know day, that- so we were- press yeah, day.
we
and
were messing.
We weren't messing, but we were kind of we were just doing it for tech as well.
Yeah.
It was kind of one of those days, you know, where everybody arrives at the same time and you're kind of running.
Because you could hear the clicking, that was the press photographer, yeah.
And there was our first time kind of in costume and doing that kind of way, so it was a full-on day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it's weird looking at it.
Yeah. So this play is back from 1980. What is a chastitute?
Well, basically it's about John Bosco, which is played by Stephen Brennan.
Yeah.
And the poor character he's never managed to get a woman. You know, he's a virgin, basically.
Oh, my God, that's
Wow.
what it is.
Yeah.
So it's not I won't say self-imposed, but it's through
The local priest
circumstance
came up,
you're
the
in
local
that,
priest came up with a name for him.
Oh,
you know, and he actually has a monologue in the play about that. I mean, like it's a very funny play, but it's all about loneliness, and it's actually the more we kind of read it and got into it, the more we were like, oh my God.
So John B, I mean, he was brilliant, wasn't he?
amazing.
Like humour, but there's this real kind of
Yeah, he
It's a
observes
real
life, he observes life
Yeah.
and the, you know,
And
the
it's set,
frailty of it.
and it's set obviously
how
in Kerry,
fragile it
and
can be.
he's in the middle of nowhere,
Absolutely.
and
the
you know,
accents you've
You slip into that very
yeah,
easily,
I
don't you?
know, yeah.
Well-
the accents are great because you obviously got to like finely tune that in terms of, you know,
Yeah.
being a part of that and immersing yourself in the scenes. And of course, you guys worked together for years,
Yeah.
so you've
Yeah.
got the chemistry and everything as well.
Yes. Yeah, no, we're really enjoying it, you know. And John B Keane is such a renowned writer, so we feel very lucky. And we have a terrific cast.
amazing, yeah,
You know.
amazing. Everybody's brilliant.
When you look at a play like that, do you have to kind of tear it apart? Do you work with a director? Do you get to put your own input to it? How does it work? What's the kind of organic process that you arrive at for doing a play like The Chastitute?
Well, I suppose like Michael Scott is directing it, so like we did all have a table read, and I'm playing 3 different characters. Aisling's playing a couple of characters as well. So for us,
It's a real ensemble piece. Everybody's doing a bit of
everybody's
this
doing a
and
lot.
bit of that.
So kind of obviously, Michael has done a lot of John B's work. So he obviously had an opinion on one thing, and then we'd bring our little thing of what we think, and then Stephen might bring, or Maria might. So it's kind of like a group ensemble. But then playing 3 different characters, it was just important, I think, for us to kind of distinguish, because we look the same. Obviously, it was just to distinguish. You know,
Between
the 3
the
different
characters,
girls, so different accents. And
So 1980 and 2017 are they could be centuries apart. The way the country has changed. Does the play still stand up? Is the writing as relevant now as it was back then, or is it a period piece?
I think
I hope it still stands up. I mean, it was done 15 years ago and it ran for a really long time, and it was extremely popular. So I think it still stands up. And also with recent goings-on in the church and recent revelations, I think that this show is actually, you know, of its time, in a sense, because it's bringing up how much the church impacted people's lives. You know, and it really impacted this character's life.
Yeah.
You know, he made all his decisions based around what the church expected of him.
And even, like, Michael's done great things of incorporating songs from that time, you know, and of course me and Ash kind of had to learn these songs, and
because we're so young.
Because we're so young. You know. But you know, the other actors all knew it, and I said, "Oh my God!" And they said, "But that was no one's had that kind of, you know, I'm not saying beaten into them, but you know what I mean. Like every day at school, they had to learn all these, and very military
and things like
do you know what I mean?
Actually, very beautiful.
Very beautiful, but very. Just when it is about, I suppose, the Catholic Church and. looking back and it, like, you feel so sorry for him.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? You actually feel so sorry for him because he went to confession. Like, he met a girl and he got drunk with her, but he had to go to confession to talk about it.
Because he had sinful thoughts.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And the
He
priest
didn't
is like,
even
"What?"
get there.
Yeah, you know what I
He
mean?
thought.
And all it was is just
wanted to be
complete
loved.
loneliness
And even
and
at
no
the end,
contact.
and at the end of the play, we're all backstage, and Stephen has this amazing speech. It's just so sad, and it's like this man just wanted love and to be loved.
And you've laughed your whole way through the play, but at the same time you're left with your
there's an
the
undercurrent
heartbeat
of
torn from your
darkness
chest.
all the way
Yeah.
through.
Now, of course, when we look at both of you, obviously, we were reminded, obviously, of all your TV work and your cache of work and that. But what about theatre? I mean, you dip your toe in regularly, don't you, into the theatre world? But television is so much more different. I mean, obviously, you're here in the studio with us, and I know I've worked with you a little bit. Fair City many moons ago. But just in terms of taking your mark, you know, working with a different team. So, which do you prefer? It's hard to
They're
even
very
imagine
different
choosing.
mediums. And quite honestly, I personally like both differently. I can't
It's
compare
like asking
them.
which of your children do you prefer?
I can't compare them. I love the buzz of live theatre. I do love the buzz of live theatre because, you know what I mean?
Adrenaline,
And you can really, you know...
But then you've got the TV, you've got the
TV
sets.
is something that I'm very happy with as well. Do you know what I mean? I don't know.
But it's also the work that you do. I mean, it's so fast-paced with Fair City, isn't it? In terms of, like, you get your scripts, is it only a couple of days before?
About 2 weeks.
Live, 2 weeks, grand.
It's a quick turnaround in filming.
So if you're in for 7, you get your scripts kind of a week before, but obviously you don't look at your scripts for the following week because you're still doing a week. You know, that kind of way. So the weekend is your homework time.
It's intense.
As a soap actress, it must be, or actor, it must be relentless. I mean, if you're in a storyline continually, I mean, you must be your head must be so full of script all the time.
Get used to it. But you don't do it in story order. Do you know what I mean? So that's the thing that you can go, hang on a minute. Do I know about this yet?
So we do like McCoy's one day. So out of your 4 scripts, you do all your... So you're shooting continuously out of sequence. So you're kind of going, OK, well, I have to play it this way because in 2 days' time I'm going to be crying. So this is the scene I'm doing after. Do you know what I mean? So...
Is it hard to cry on cue?
I'm a better crier than I am at laughing.
No, but they're
on cue.
really intense scenes. It's very difficult.
If you get really into the scene, you can do it. If you get into the story, you just have to make sure where you know where you are in your arc of the storyline. You know what I mean?
And everybody's just brilliant.
You
like
get great writing as well.
So.
It makes it.
But you must be one big family at this stage. You've been doing it.
Yeah, but we've been doing the fire and everything. Like
years and years, you know,
17.
together. 17.
Yeah.
Really?
And Ash is 18.
18.
Yeah.
Are you?
Wow. Because we were even talking 15 years ago.
My first episode came out when I was 23.
Okay.
Yeah, and now I'm the big 4-0.
Speaking of longevity, we have someone here who you may recognise. I think he might have been related to you in Fair City back in the day.
Hello, son.
Killian's son. You were his mum.
I'm his mammy.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, my mum. My his wayward mammy. I was the worst mammy in the world.
Look at him.
Look at Hilda.
Oh my
God. See, this is the thing. I grew up obviously going through the awkward teenage years on television. So now there's all of these images that are so embarrassing.
I think the funniest one of you is when you dyed your hair blonde. Remember when you had the blonde streaks?
Don't remind me. I went through all those phases,
I always remember Killian telling me that he was standing outside the shops or something. Do you remember this? And people came up to you and said, if you're waiting for your ma, she's not coming. Because I was always letting him down.
Killian, what was it like working together? And also on the set, because you were there for years.
Yeah, I grew up on the show, so I spent about 9 years on the show, and like these guys became a huge part of my family.
Big
because
sisters, I would
yeah,
imagine.
absolutely, because I'd spend more time with Ash than I would have even with a lot of my own family members. So you get this, you know, connection, this bond, and you're a part of each other's lives. It's it was really special.
Like when he died in it, remember that those scenes were just like he gets shot by one of my horrible lovers. You know what I mean? And they shot. But I mean, honestly, like remember that we were shooting all night, and I was bawling my eyes out, like wailing. But it was really easy because I was mad about him, and he was leaving.
And you were losing him.
So it's already there.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, it was awful. And then he was in the hospital for weeks, and I had to watch him die.
Actually, he might do a Bobby Ewing on it and come back from the grave. You know, so,
in the shower one day.
We'd love that. We'd love to have you back, Killian.
And of course, things have changed as well with the sets and everything as well. So I'm sure if you were to go back on the set, it'd be nearly different or a little bit similar.
Listen, we have the Hungry Pig now and the station and everything.
Yeah, well, it's about 10 years, 11 years now since I left the show, so I wouldn't even recognise. I wouldn't recognise
back in ghost format.
Floating in the background.
Brilliant. Listen, it's lovely to have you all on the sofa, and the reunion is quite sweet as well.